A world without color, left in a place that you knew. Are you the person that you want to be? Because everything crumbled into a haze of blue, and everything drained from the world left to see. Smiles and laughters from the place that you left. Desires and stories began to build. But there was something you needed to stay kept. Lonely want that could never be filled. Sammy Stevens spent 5 long years trying to get his fiancée back. After heartache and trouble, he finally comes close. Then it all falls apart. He's stabbed, shadows overrun the world. Everything gets stuck in a bubble where the same 5 years play out over and over again. Now snow is falling on the mountains. There's excitement in the air. The shadows are dragging Jack back to the scene of the crime. An endless loop, a never-ending dream. At least that's what they're chanting in the streets. So that's it then. That's how the story goes. Blaine's log, and today it's a doozy of a day today. There's a mountain of notes and records all around me, but figuring out what to do with all of those is a struggle. I've gone over everything a bajillion times. I even re-listened through the recordings from January 1st, 2020 of the broadcast of the Sammy and Ben show. Yeah. It's not a good time. Don't get me wrong, the drama is delicious. Like, hearing Sammy talk to his long-lost lover, who is now on the opposite side, the drama is so good, but it doesn't help me. It doesn't really help anyone. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start at the beginning and walk through this all together. Things weren't going super great for the Notebook Prophecy friends. The shadows had crossed over on December 15th, and in the weeks that follow, Emily, Lily, Ben, and Sammy were on the run and scrambling to get pieces into place. For what it's worth, they had a lot of good stuff to work with. The problem is that they didn't have the time they needed to really pull it off. So fast forward to this cool epic drama piece that I just listened to. It's January 1st, 2020. The crew is setting up a bunch of mystical seals and diagrams in the studio for future plans, and also probably for future protections. I got a few pictures of what remains of their handiwork when I was up there with Marina, and it looks like some sort of banishing circle, also some sort of trapping type deal. Like, it's the type of magical diagram thing that you use to separate demons from people. Old Sheriff Liv Hawthorne used something similar on our old Mayor Judas. Except her circles were more about banishing that demon into a perma-trap for the rest of time and eternity. At least as far as I could tell. All of this stuff goes way above my head, and I'm just a little guy doing the best that I can. Not that it matters, though. From what I can tell, it looks like the Super Friends didn't get a chance to finish their magical drawings. They tried, but the shadows hit. And the shadows hit hard. The doorstep to the void was fully open, and all the horrors within were spread across the area. Darkness was beating down the front door of the station. A full-blown war erupted as the Shadowmaker made his attack. Looking at everything going against them, they were screwed. There were even freaking robot people for some reason breaking the ceiling. It was the end, no matter which way they decided to do. So Sammy makes a sacrifice. Jack was leading a lot of the shadowy chaos stuff. You can say that he wanted to, or you can say that he was under control of something. I don't know. Point is, Jack was right at the front and the center of it all. Previously, the Shadowmaker had tried to use Jack to lure Sammy out and make the group collapse. So Sammy tried the reverse. Lure Jack out, bring focus to the station, hopefully use all the magical scribbles to trap Jack in the area, and give the others an opportunity to make a pass at the void. No one was really happy to sacrifice a Sammy Stevens to the demons, but what else could they do? No one else would survive if they didn't. They all had their roles to play, so they did what they had to do. Darkness was overwhelming the town. There was no way for them to safely make it to the void. So the others escaped, and Sammy lured out the shadows. Somehow, this works. The entirety of the forces of darkness stop their attack to make a deliciously juicy little drama scene. A dark cloud descends upon the studio as the others flee for their lives. Sammy sits bravely behind the mic, and Jack walks into the studio. I wish I could play the recording to you because, it is delicious. But the tape, honestly, I'm impressed that it managed to survive as long as it did because this thing is waterlogged and damaged and rainy. And plus, my recording setup isn't that great, so like trying to hold a mirror up to a mirror and one of those mirrors is cracked, it wouldn't work. All you need to know is that those two have some real good sexual tension. Like, if this were a show, I would be hooked. That's probably not the most appropriate thing to say, considering what happened, but this is my own personal journal. It's not like hundreds of people are going to be listening to this or anything. Sammy tried his best to remind Jack of all the good times that they've had, to beg Jack to not destroy everything. But when all of that fell apart, he apologized. He told Jack he's sorry for not listening more, for not being there for him, for not believing him, for taking too long to finally be brave enough to stand up and be honest. Jack tries to deflect most of it, but you can't deflect a good, sincere, honest apology from the person you love. He tries to get Sammy to give up the others, but Sammy refuses, and so force gets involved. At some point, Jack is like strangling Sammy, and the recording gets all distorted and warped and staticky. I tried to salvage what I can, but again, I'm impressed this tape managed to survive at all. All I can say is that Sammy gets roughed up, and there's some sort of altercation, and then more stamming, and then I'm assuming the runes finally kicked in or something, because there's a massive burst of energy that almost breaks the recording entirely. The recording cuts out completely into dead silence sometime around Sammy telling Jack that he loves him, and Jack straight up stabbing Sammy Stevens through the gut. After that, it's a few minutes of silence that I wish had sound. And then the audio jumps back in. Jack is disoriented and disconnected from the shadows. I don't know what they did, but it worked. Jack is free. All the shadowy forces are looming over him and Sammy. And things get weird. I wish I could tell you what did it, but I don't really know. Was it Emily Potter finally extinguishing the Shadowmaker's core? The magic circles doing their magic work despite not being finished? Or was it something else? No way to know because, again, the recording cuts out. All I know is that it was probably some big, messy thing, and that it was so powerful that the resulting shockwave fries all of the station's sound gear for a minute. When the recording really starts to settle in again, you hear fire in the distance and heavy breathing, and Jack crying over Sammy's body. Shadows descend on the station. You get a bunch of weird noises all at once, and then it cuts off. The end. Nobody was saved. The shadows gobble up the entire town, and that's it. At least, that's it on their side. Because here's the thing. Jumbled up in the mess of the shadows descending on the station and the bad guys winning once and for all, there's a weird little woo buzzing sound that I have heard before. And I know that I've heard it before because it's the last thing I heard before I ended up in the city, and that was not a good day for me. So here's what happens, at least as far as I can tell. Sammy gets stabbed, the shadows start descending, and then our beloved magical dreamy city steps in to save Jack. We've had this theory before, and it makes sense, especially with the audio. The city chooses to save the broken and the hopeless. It takes in all of these sad puppies like me and gives them a fresh start and a chance to make their dreams come true. I mean, just look at me. I am living in a cool place that both accepts me for who I am and lets me do cool radio stuff. Plus, healthcare is like $5 here, man. I don't have to worry about insurance or homelessness or any of that. It's fantastic. Except for the fact that there is all the weird shadow stuff going on. And so just like I was spirited away, Jack was taken in. Cool radio job, totally accepting community, free housing basically, plenty of spare time to do whatever you want. But I don't know. There's details with Jack that bother me. Like, think about it. Jack, in the last 5 years he's spent stuck in the city, has just been mentally trapped in the year 2015. None of his loved ones are here. No one from his past life. He's just a chill dude hanging out in 2015, convinced that his fiancée is going to move here, quote unquote, by the end of the year, and it's all going to be a dream. The boy has been stuck in delusions for half a decade. Why? Imagine being forever trapped mentally in a loop, constantly going through the motions, building towards some bigger hope, but never reaching the conclusion. There's no closure, there's no satisfying end, there's nothing, just over and over buildup that suddenly drops off and resets. That's insanity. And what about Sammy? Or Lily? Or the rest of the Notebook friends? Or heck, the town? The shadows just gobble everything up, and the city only uses its weird magic energy to save one person. So what happened to everybody else? I've stared at so many physics notes from the Wisteria Institute and their previous granddaddy, the Science Institute, and I don't know. At the time when the shadows fell upon and everything got all weird, there was a big mess of a bunch of different energies all grabbing at the same thing, so who's to say where the magical town of King Falls landed? The void? It's probably the void. Oh well, I guess it doesn't matter too much now. They're all here now, taking up space in Old Town, playing through the story of 2015 to early 2020 in a loop we can't bother because the roses won't let us. Still, I hang out on the roof of Pensive Plays with Vix and watch from time to time. From what we've seen, they're getting pretty close to 2019. Like, we're rounding the corner, it's getting colder, snow is starting to fall, so the big finale is almost at hand. And that's scary because everything in the city outside of that right now is really falling apart. Jack's been taking out all of his feelings on the rest of the city. And so my question is, what happens once they hit 2020 again? Right now, the shadows are chanting in the streets. Like, our last little bits of reality are holding on by a thread. And the shadows are pumping Jack up the mountain, chanting about an endless dream, forever nightmare, and how this will be the final swift sword to bring about the end. I'm not sure how much more direct you could get about that, and I'm not sure how much control Jack has over the situation anymore. Is he conscious or just being puppeted by the shadows at this point? I couldn't tell you. He looks terrible. He's just a mangled mess of dark energy, and it's wrapped around him like a thick coat that's pulling him forward and forward. With every step, it's getting stronger. And I hate to say it, but I don't know if we have anything we can use to figure this out.
I think I have a couple of ideas.
Oh, hey. Are you done looking through all the mayor's old stuff?
At least for now. There is a lot of stuff to go through.
Yeah, there is. That woman was obsessed.
Yeah, she really was, but I found something.
Good something or bad something?
Something. Here. You should take a look at this.
This looks official. Wisteria Institute?
No, actually, the city's personal research guys from the universities.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Is this recent?
Yeah, at least as of yesterday. All of that chaotic and weird energy that's been tearing up the city is circulating right around Old Town. According to the maps and the predictions the scientists made, if Old Town falls, that's it. Everything else crumbles with it.
But would Old Town crumble? It's been pretty steady so far.
Yeah, but all it takes is one big push from Jack and it all would fall apart.
Huh. The shadows have been chanting in the streets lately.
And Jack's been heading in that direction.
Are they pushing Jack up back into King Falls? I mean, think about it. One last big push, and not only this, but every other reality and piece that's been warped into our city collapses with it.
Well, Jack is going up that direction. I hate to say it, Blaine, but I think that's exactly what they're doing.
So that's what the shadows are planning then. Give the man hope. Have him start pulling every reality and version of the city together into one big lumpy place. Let all of that crumble apart to pieces. And then when you can finally strike it down once and for all, you make him relive the worst day of his life. That sucks.
How far along into the timeline are they?
Last I checked with Vix, they were right around fall 2019. But snow was starting to drop, so we're getting close.
I have a thought. It's kind of stupid, but...
What's up?
Well, I've been thinking a lot lately. Especially after the show a couple weeks ago. There's been a lot going on in my head. But how did they manage to get the shadows out of Jack the first time? You've looked at all the stuff. So have I. There has to be some third thing that made the difference. What makes it possible for some guy alone in a radio station to rip someone away from the shadows? Blaine, you've seen their diagrams and notes. Like you said, they're Sheriff Hawthorne's same notes, except they never finished the circles. And then we think about Emily Potter and going into the void, stopping the Shadow Maker. But if that happened, we wouldn't have the mess.
So what did it?
It's a lot simpler than we thought. The answer is love.
Love?
Yeah.
You're sure?
As sure as I can be.
So you mean to tell me that Jack Wright, right hand to the great and terrible darkness, possessed out the wazoo with all sorts of shady and scary shadowy bits, was broken free from all of that through the power of love?
Okay, I know how cheesy that sounds, and honestly, it probably also was the diagrams and everything else too, but I don't think any of it would have worked without love. And yes, I know that sounds like a Saturday morning cartoon, but just listen. We've dug through the notes, we've listened to recordings, we've seen what shadows do to people. What do all these cases have in common, Blaine? The shadows prey on emptiness. They feed on personal suffering. If someone's alone, if they're feeling unloved and empty, the shadows can get their claws in. The Shadow Maker needs pain to get in someone's head. He needs them to let him in. It's not just physical darkness, it's emotional darkness too.
And Jack was able to get out of all of that because Sammy loved him?
Jack Wright was able to break free because Sammy Stevens' love was stronger than the Shadow's pull. I didn't want to mention this earlier, but I saw it play out. My eyes started doing that weird vision thing while we were digging through their station a couple weeks ago. I saw it for myself. Sammy lured Jack in to save his friends. And then the two had a very long talk. And then Jack stabbed him.
And that's why there was a crazy amount of blood on the floor.
And Sammy laid it all out. He told him he's sorry he didn't have more than his love to give. And he told him he was sorry that it took him so long to figure it out. And that's when the floor started glowing, and all the shadows were ripped away from Jack.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's it then. Love. The answer is love. Dang, Marina, why didn't you mention any of this earlier?
I don't know, it didn't come up.
Didn't come up? Marina, this is huge information, and we're on a crunch right now. Everything helps, especially something big, like a vision of what exactly happened on the one night we need more details about. Why would you sit on this?
I just couldn't think, okay? I...
Whoa, hey, it's okay. It's okay, just take a deep breath. I'm sorry I started yelling. That wasn't good.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that.
It's fine. Are you okay?
Of course I am. I'm fine, Blaine. I'm fine.
You sure about that?
Blaine, it's nothing. Don't worry. It's just all the nerves and everything. I promise there's nothing to worry about. I'm fine.
Marina.
I said I'm fine, so just drop it, okay? Oh, gosh. I'm sorry, Blaine. I didn't mean to yell. Let's just forget about this, okay? I'm going to go take a step outside for a minute, get some air, and then we'll get back in here and we'll talk about it.
No, Marina, stop. Stop dancing around things. You've been doing this for the last couple of weeks, and can we talk? At least for like a little bit.
It's fine, Blaine. Just let me go, okay?
It's not fine. You're crying.
Oh.
Look, Marina, I know I'm the worst at these type of things. I can barely handle my own feelings, let alone someone else's, but you're my friend. You're my rock. I would be dead 12 times over if it wasn't for you. Over the last few weeks, I've watched you hurt. And yeah, there's a lot going on. But still, something's bothering you, and I'm not going to force you to open up to me, but I want to be there for you. I want to help you because I care.
There's other things to worry about.
It can wait. What's going on with you?
Jack's fiancé fought in heaven and hell for the chance to see him again. He gave up everything just for the chance to save Jack. He loves him, Blaine.
Yeah, he really did.
It's got me thinking about, well, Lucian.
Your old fiancé?
Yeah, and it's stupid. It really is. Like, we don't have to get into this right now because it's just a bunch of petty things that don't matter.
No. I said I wanted to hear it and I want to hear it. Are you worried that he's out there somewhere trying to pull off a similar elaborate suicide mission?
I don't know. Yes? No? Maybe? It wouldn't surprise me if he threw his life away just to chase me down. And I don't know, Blaine. Looking at what people actually do for love, and looking at all this sweet, tender stuff, I feel terrible about it. I ruined his life. I took away all his hopes and dreams. And I ruined him.
Hey, it's okay.
No, it's not. He was a friend. I cared about him a lot. But at the end of the day, he wanted something I couldn't give. So I just ran away. He's gone 4 years now without any word or closure or anything about the whole thing. Blaine, what if Lucian's out there right now, risking his life doing something like this? What if he's chasing me just like Sammy chased Jack? I'm trying to not let it bother me, but I have been awake every single night thinking about him getting stabbed, about him getting lost in the void, or something worse. He'd do it too. And it's so terribly stupid. And it's awful. Because no matter what he does, I will never feel the same way about him that he felt about me. I'm just a waste of effort.
I'm not sure if that's true.
Sammy spent years hunting down Jack. Just like Lucian would spend for me. You've heard the little blips, so have I. And what does it matter? For someone like Jack, look around. He's tearing up an entire city in return for the person he loves. And sure, it's not great for the rest of us, but at least he's returning the chase. At least he actually cares.
And you don't?
I tried to care. I tried so many times, but I can't. It doesn't exist in me, Blaine. He loved, he chased, he gave me the world. But me? I couldn't even bring myself to give him more than just half a text. Blaine, what if I got him killed? What if he threw his life away for somebody like me? It's been 4 years. I haven't even tried to reach out once. It never even occurred to me. I'm a terrible person.
No, Marina, it's not your fault.
I'm pretty sure it is.
No, Marina, you're not a bad person. You don't experience romantic attraction. Sure, that's fine. You're aromantic, and that's a wonderful thing to be. If he couldn't understand that, then that's his problem. You recognized that things weren't working out, and you chose to do something instead of lying to everyone. That's a lot kinder than settling down and forcing it for years. You moved on, and now he has the chance to do the same.
But what if he didn't move on? The last thing he heard from me was half a text saying that I couldn't do it, and that I'd call him in the morning and explain. Except the morning never came. because I ended up here. And that was that. I've had so much fun in this city. I was prepared to throw everything else away for good. But what about Lucien? What about the life he wanted to live? I didn't even really think about it until I saw just how far someone would go for the person they love. I've never felt anything like that, Blaine. What's wrong with me?
It's okay. I mean, it kind of sucks for Lucien, but you're okay. And if he couldn't see that, well, that's his problem, not yours, alright? You did the best you could. You did what you had control over, and it was messy, but hey, we're messy people, and we do what we can with the mess that we have.
I ruined his life.
You ruined his plans. And if he's half as smart as you've mentioned, I'm sure he would have found new ones.
I hate myself, Blaine. Everything would be so much easier if I could just love the way he wanted. Then I could be like Sammy and Jack. Everything works out. And nobody gets hurt.
I think we're a little okay with less love like Sammy and Jack. I mean, that love is tearing apart the city right now. So...
Blaine.
I mean it. And also, you're not broken. You're just different. You keep saying that you can't feel love, that you're some broken and empty monster, but you know it's not true. Marina, I've seen you for the last 4 years. You love plenty.
Not romantically.
Yeah, well, love's a lot more than just that stuff. You still have friends. You still have all of your community, and your hobbies, and cake, and honestly, even if all of that stuff falls apart, which it might, you'd still have me. And I love you plenty.
Do you really mean that?
Of course I do. No matter how bad things get, or how hard I screw up, you're always right there when I need you. Marina, you're my best friend. And if that's not love, I don't know what is.
Insanity, maybe.
Yeah, probably. But still, doesn't change a thing. I love you, Marina Gomez. I love you. And I mean that completely without any of that mushy romance stuff. There's so much love out there. Romance is just one chunk of it. And honestly, it's kind of overrated and exhausting. The type of love that changes people and changes things is so much bigger than that. It's fluid and it comes in every single shape.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Love comes in every shape.
Yeah, there's a lot of types of love out there.
There's more than one type of love.
I mean, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
No, Blaine, think about it. Love snapped Jack out of the shadow trance the first time. And sure, we might not have his missing fiancé or anything like that. But we still have love to share. He's been working with us at the station for the past 5 years. He's been a part of the whole community. Jack's bound to have some sort of love and connection here.
You look like you have a plan.
I might. But first, I might need a little help fleshing out details. Come on. We have a few calls to make.
Dreamgirl City is a production by N.J. Schulze. It was written and produced by N.J. Schulze. The poem featured for today is It Comes Around Again, written by N.J. Schulze. Have a question? Have a comment? Have a theory or a poem? Email this and more to dreamgirlcityradio@gmail.com. or check us out on all our cool, super fun social medias. If you like supporting this podcast, please rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts and share us around with all your super cool Pod Squad friends. We grow by word of mouth, and everything and anything you guys do goes a very long way. Thank you to everybody supporting us this far. I feel like we are reaching the peak of content of things that I've made, and I'm rather proud of where this season is headed. We're not quite there yet, but just remember, sometimes you need to rise above, because that's the power of love.